Well, hello Divi Nation, and welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And today in this live stream, we're going to be showing you how to create a custom toggle tab for your sticky header in Divi. This gives users more options to show or hide their sticky header whenever they want. So hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to check the video description for more info. And let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, so hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Welcome everyone to our live stream. Feel free to post in the chat where you're from. Say hello, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. That way I'll know that the stream is coming in well for you guys. All right. All right, still welcome. If you're just joining us, I know a few of you are just trickling in. Today we're going to be showing you how to create a toggle tab for your sticky headers in Divi. If you're familiar with sticky headers, you basically, I'll show you the live example of where we're going to be heading today, what we're going to be building. This is a sticky header here. Let's see. All right. So as I scroll down, you can see that my tab here, toggle tab, is showing up once I reach a point past the header there. So it pops up there. And then I can click on it and it'll hide that sticky tab or sticky header as I scroll throughout my website. And then I could, toggle it on and off as needed. A helpful way to kind of, sometimes those sticky headers can be a little bit bulky, especially when you have a large header on smaller screen sizes. This is a great alternative to, shrinking it up or maybe hiding stuff like we normally do in our sticky headers. So, and as you scroll, even though it's closed, let's say you have it closed, when you scroll back up, it'll go back to the default and hide that tab. So that's a nice user experience boost there. So that's what we're going to be creating today. Let me go ahead and check the chat, make sure I'm coming in loud and clear for everyone. All right, loud and clear, thank you. For some reason, I am not able to see some of the chat here in the live stream. Oh well, so thanks Lee, welcome. Okay, now I'm able to see those comments. Thanks. Let's see, Great Yam, hello, welcome. Nicola and Jeremy G. Woods from Romania, welcome. And Grant from New Jersey, all okay. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Sorry for that delay. As you know, sometimes with these live streams, things don't always go smoothly. But I can see your chat now, and we can go ahead and get started. So before, though, we get started, I do want to, there's a few things that we need to do. First, we're going to be downloading a let's see, a template, a free header footer template to get us started. And it's going to come from our interpreter layout pack. So I'm going to pull that up. I accidentally exited out of my browser window. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So if you go to our blog and search for interpreter layout pack, you can pull it up there and it'll look like this. And what you'll want to do is, this is completely free. You just have to go ahead and click get it for free, and you can enter your email in the email opt-in, and you want to click on download files, and that'll download that zip file we'll need to import to our theme builder to get us jump started today. So make sure you do that. And of course, if you get confused, there's a link to the blog post in the video description, which kind of shows you how to do that as well. So once you have that header footer template downloaded, we are ready to get started. So we're going to go first to our theme builder. Let me pull that in there. So from your WordPress dashboard, navigate to Divi theme builder, and it'll look like this. And this is our finished product that I already have, and we showed you, and that I just showed you here. But we're going to add a new one from scratch. So to do that, we're going to click on this portability icon up here. I'm going to click Import tab. And then I'm going to grab that interpreter header footer JSON file. And I'm going to drag it in there, select it, choose that file. I'm going to unclick these options. I don't want to override any default templates. And then I'm click Import. Then I'm going to click to import them as static layouts, and then click Import again. Once that's done, you'll see the template here, and that's going to include the custom header and footer for the layout. We don't need the footer for our design today, so I'm going to delete that footer, and excuse me, and then I'm going to save my changes, and then we can go ahead and jump in here and edit this custom header. And this will be the header template layout we will start with. So real helpful way to edit this, well, anything in the Divi builder, is to go ahead and first open up your settings down there and click the layers modal icon to pull up that layers modal, which is a layers view of all of the different elements, and then click on open close all, toggle that. So that opens all of our elements, all of our sections, rows, columns, so we can see everything at once. Makes it a lot easier to, select elements in Divi. Especially with this layout, we'll be hiding certain things initially, so we'll want to be able to see those on the layers view. So with this particular layout, there is a code module with some custom code. We don't need that for this. We're going to delete it. We're going to add our own later. So make sure you delete that custom code icon in the layers view. And as you can see, the header is built with one section. And inside that section, you have a top row, which contains, these CTAs, the logo up here. So that's your top row. And then the bottom row this one here is the row that contains our menu. And so what we're going to do is add a toggle tab using a blurb module, and we're going to position it right underneath or inside this bottom row, but we're going to position it so that it sticks out below our section a bit so that we can toggle it on and off. And so that's what we're going to be doing, plus adding some custom code to get it all working like we want. All right. So I'm going to save this, and we're going to continue editing. The first thing we're going to do is edit our section. So to do that, open our section settings, And let me pull this over here and shrink it up so we can see it a little bit better. All right, so in our section settings, the main thing we're going to do is go to our advanced tab and add a custom class. This is going to be needed for our to target in our code later on. Do some smart things with this class here. So it's a CSS class called et-divi-sticky-header. et-divi sticky header. And we add those little prefixes there just to make sure it doesn't conflict with any current CSS classes you have on your site. But basically we want to designate this as the whole section as our sticky header, and that class does that for us. We do want to make it this section sticky by giving it a sticky position. We can do that by going to our scroll effects, and under sticky position, we're just going to click stick to top. And that's pretty much it. That's all we have to do for our section. Now, that entire section will remain fixed or stuck at the top of the page when you scroll down. So that's what we want to do there. Now, next, and this kind of takes up the bulk of our design, we want to design a blurb module as our toggle tab. So we're going to design it with the Divi Builder and position it with the Divi Builder. Then after that, we'll add a custom class to it and get that functionality with our custom code. So we have our section in our sticky position. Now we're going to add our toggle tab. So, but before we do that, I do want to welcome you. If you are just joining us today, this is our Divi use case live stream, which we do every week. And today we're showing you how to add a custom toggle tab for your sticky header in Divi. And this is the final design we're looking to achieve. And as you can see, that tab shows up and we are able to toggle on and off that sticky tab. So far we have our header that we are using from our interpreter layout pack, or our interpreter header footer template. And then we have it in our fixed position, but now we need to create that tab. So that's where we are now. So to do that, we're going to create a new blurb module, and I'm going to add it to the bottom or in that second bottom row, right underneath the menu. So I can do it here or in the layers view. I'll just do it here. So add a new module blurb. And the reason I'm using the blurb module is because I want to take advantage of that icon. So basically we want to strip this blurb to everything but the icon, and then we're going to position it, design and position it later. So we don't need the title, I'll take that out. Don't need the body either. Text, take that out. And instead of using that image, we're going to use an icon. So click use icon, and we're going to click this up arrow there, icon. And I'm going to, and that's basically it for our content tab changes. Almost. Let's go ahead and add a background. So we're going to add a background color of white. You can add whatever you want as the background. I chose white because it kind of goes with the current header, which also has a background of white, and I wanted it to kind of match. So give it a background color of white, and then let's go to our design tab. So the design tab, let's change up our icon color. We're going to use custom color. It's kind of like a dark blue, the same dark blue that's being used in this header here. And let's use a custom font size. Sorry, and let's make it 40 pixels. So a 40 pixel font size for that icon. And then let's jump down to our sizing. So we want this blurb to have a set width and height. So I'm going to make it 45 pixels on width and 45 pixels on height. It is important to note that the height, well, we can't really see it. It's all the way over here to the left now because we are giving it that custom width. But we're going to position it over to the right here in a bit. It's important to keep in mind that we have set the height to 45 pixels. Giving it a custom height, is whatever the height may be. We will be able to, use the transform. I'll show you the transform translate to bring it down exactly the same. Bring it down the exact same amount or value that's equal to the height. That's probably confusing. Hopefully I can explain that a bit better when we get to those transform translate option. All right, so we have our blurb, which is a custom width and height of 45 pixels. Now we're gonna do, I wanna take out, there's some bottom margin that's gonna be added by default. Just take out that bottom margin, set it to 0 pixels. And now for that transform option, let's do transform and translate. That's the, translate basically moves it wherever we want along the X or Y axis, along the X or Y axis on the page. So we're gonna change it on the X, is it X or Y? Yeah, the X axis. Is this X? I can't remember. Okay, so yeah, so 100% here, not pixels. Make sure it's 100%, and you can't really see that all the way over here on the left. You can see when I hover over it, you see it has dropped down a little bit. The exact height that the blurb was, 100% of that height, it dropped down that much. So that's important to do because we want it to sit directly below our section. And there's going to be a default icon animation. I don't want that. I'm just take that out. So no animation on that icon. Let's jump over to our advanced tab. I'm going to bring my settings over here. And because I'm going to move it over to the right and I want to be able to see it. So let's go ahead and first, under our advanced tab, let's give it a custom CSS class. We're going to paste it in here. It's the ET Divi sticky toggle. So this is going to be our sticky toggle. We added a class for our sticky section. Now we're adding a class for our sticky toggle. Both of them are crucial to target in our code later on. After that, we're going to jump over to our position settings and we're going to set it to absolute. All right. And I want to set the location to the bottom right. And as you can see now, it's almost where we want it. We don't want it directly kind of hugging against that browser window because as you know, when you scroll, you have that scroll bar that shows up, and I don't want that to, conflict or with that in any way. So I'm going to give it a horizontal offset of 20 pixels, and that will bring it over just a bit. So, and you can, offset it however you want, and even, change the offset on tablet or phone display as well. All right, let's see. I want to give it a z-index of -1. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, as you know, it's sitting right below our menu here, this menu. And I don't want it to, like, for example, when we engage in that menu or with that menu, especially on mobile, we don't want this toggle tab to show above it. We want to keep it hidden behind it if we're ever opening our menu. All right, so I'm going to save that out. And before we jump in and add the code needed, I just want to show you what we have so far. So let's go ahead and I'm going to save it and exit out. And I'm going to save my changes. I'm going to preview it, but in order to do that, I need to assign my template to a page or pages. I'm just going to assign it to all pages. This, of course, is not something you want to do if you're on your live website. Keep that in mind. Make sure it's a staging site or something and test it first. But that, I'm going to save changes and let's see what that looks like. I'm going to refresh. All right. Oh, it looks like I forgot to add my rounded corners there. But this is the result so far. As you can see, the sticky header is in place and the toggle is there, but we have no functionality yet. And it's not going to be hidden initially, which we want to do. So now we need to add the code. So let's jump back into edit our header. And really quickly, I'm going to add those rounded corners because that bugs me and I have to have that in there. All right, so I'm going to edit let's go ahead and open my layers view back up. Open all of them and click on my blurb icon or blurb module. And let's go to the border settings and unclick the link there. And at the bottom, I'm just going to add 12 pixels in the bottom left and bottom right to give it a rounded corner. You can't really see it because it has a white background, but you will when it is in contrast with a darker background. All right, so let's check the chat. The video chat here, see if you guys have any questions before we add our code. All right, looking good so far. Thanks, Joash, for letting me know that you can hear me okay. Lee says the audio keeps cutting in and out. That is weird. I apologize for that. Hopefully I'm back up. Let me check my stream. Looks like my sound should be coming in on my end, at least. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get into the code here that we need to add the functionality for our toggle tab for our sticky header. So we can add to do this, we're going to add a custom or a new code module. So I'm just going to drop that in right below my blurb there. I'm going to add a new module and I'm going to call it, I'm going to add a code module there. And in here is where we're going to paste our code. Before we paste it though, I need to add a style tag or wrap it in a style tag because we are pasting it in HTML on the page. So once we have those style tags in place, we can go ahead and paste in the code, which I'm just going to, you can get the code from the blog post. I have a snippet of code here I'm going to add, which kind of I've commented out. Oops, wrong one. Sorry, we need our styling first. So let's get that in there. Our CSS. So this is our CSS we're going to be using. And I'm going to break that down for you in a moment. Once that's in place, right underneath that style tag, or those style tags, we're going to add a script tag, which is where we're going to add our JavaScript or jQuery code. I'm going to paste that in there. Okay, and as you can see, this code might differ with the blog posts just because I've added these comments here, which will help explain it a bit better as to what's happening. And once the code's in place, let's go ahead and save it out, check it, make sure it's working, and then we'll come back and kind of go through that code a bit just to make sure you can understand at least a little of what's going on and maybe how to modify it. All right, so save it. Let's go ahead and refresh my page here. All right, so as I scroll down, okay, my tab is looking good. And when I hover and click, it should hide. Yes, so now it's being toggled on and off. When I scroll back up, everything goes back to normal. All right, so it looks like it's doing its thing. As you, the icon also rotates whenever you click it, which is nice. So let's jump in. Well, I'm going to inspect this and I'm going to show you what this looks like on, mobile. So if I scroll down, you can see works the same way on mobile. I can hide it. And then when I scroll back up, and if I want to open my menu, this should stay above that tab, which is nice. All right, let's get out of there. And let's jump back into the theme builder template editor there. And let's look at that code one more time. This first, the CSS here, as you should notice the class that we're targeting here. So this is the ET Divi sticky toggle tab. And that's the class that was assigned to our blurb. So that has been, I've gone ahead and initially given it a visibility of hidden. So that's why you can't really see it in the builder. But I want it initially hidden because we don't really need to see it until we actually scroll down the page a bit. So we hide it initially, and then that's just making sure. This is making sure that the cursor is a pointer cursor whenever you hover over the toggle. So you'll know it's something you can click on. This one here shows you what happens, because we're going to be, with our code down below, our jQuery, we're going to be toggling this class called ETShowToggle on and off on and off to that toggle tab, that blurb. And whenever that class is added, it will become visible again. And so that's what that's doing. The header, this is our class that we added to our section, the main section, the Divi sticky header. And this is making sure that we have this nice transition duration, so it's not like jumping around drastically whenever we toggle it on and off. But also we're going to be toggling a different a class onto that sticky header, which is going to add this transform translate of negative 100% on the y-axis. And basically what that is doing is, let's say, this is our sticky header, of course. Whenever I click this, it's adding that class, which is basically using transform translate to move this entire section up 100% of its height so that it hides it perfectly outside the viewport. So that's doing. So every time I click this toggle tab, it's adding and removing that class, which moves it in and out of view. All right, so this one here is just adding some custom styling to the Divi blurb icon, basically taking out that extra margin and adding a transition that's equal to the speed of the toggle of the section or the header. This last snippet here, this basically rotates the icon when you click it. So that gives that effect here. Whenever I click on that icon, you can see that icon rotates. It points downward and then points upward. So that's what that's doing. All right. And now on to the jQuery. First thing, let me see if I have any questions so far. I guess we're good on questions. All right. All right. All right, so the final code is the jQuery, and we're going to run through that quickly. The first thing we're doing here in the top is basically adding variables. So to these classes, the main one being this is our variable for our sticky header class, and this is the variable for our toggle. And so we're going to be using these variables in our code to target the header and the toggle respectively. This next main snippet of jQuery attaches a scroll event handler function. Basically what that's doing is whenever we scroll or the user scrolls with their mouse inside the window, we're going to be listening for that and using that event trigger, so to speak, to perform a function whenever the user does that. And in this case, what we're doing here is when the user scrolls, we're going to calculate the top position, the scroll top position of the window, basically where that top of the window is when you're scrolling. And we're going to calculate this variable is basically calculating the height of our sticky header. So it's grabbing that height. So whatever the height of that section is, we don't know, but we're able to get it with this snippet there. That way, if you change or add padding to it, it won't matter. It's still going to get that height, whatever it is. And that's important because what we're going to do here in this if statement here is whenever when scroll top, whenever the top position of the window is greater than or equal to the header height, we're basically going to add that class which shows the toggle. And so whenever let's show you what I mean. So I'm scrolling, and as I scroll, it's waiting till it gets to the point where it's past the height of the header. And then once it is, it's going to show up that toggle. And so when I scroll to back up to that area where it's less than the header height, when that scroll top position of the window is less than the header height, it's going to hide it. And so that's what that code's doing there. And of course, if this next part of the code, the else if, meaning if the scroll top position of the window is greater than the header height, it's going to remove the class that shows the toggle, basically hide the toggle. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Whenever the scroll top position is less than the header height, that's when you scroll back up to the top. It's going to basically remove that class that shows the toggle and remove the class that hides the sticky header. So basically that's bringing everything back to normal, snapping it back all into place. A reset, if you will. And then the last snippet here is basically we're adding a click event function so that whenever you click on the toggle, it's going to toggle this class called hide sticky header. And that class corresponds to that CSS up here, which of course uses that translate Y to hide it out of view. And so once we click it, the section gets hidden on click. That's it. Hope it wasn't too confusing. Don't forget, you can always download this template by going to the blog post and enter the email opt-in or email in the email opt-in there to get that free download. And you can check it out for yourself, explore the code, and make any changes you want. Let's check and see if we have any questions before we close up today. All right, let's see. Looks good. Okay. All right, so I don't think we have any more questions. If you do, they're not showing up for me, so let's see. Yeah, there's probably an issue with my streaming here. I apologize for that. If there are any questions that I didn't answer, hopefully we can attack those later on. This video will be posted to our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook channel to be viewed later on. So feel free to check it out. So if you missed something, you can always come back and watch it again. With that, let's just go ahead and see the final result one more time. Here's our sticky toggle on our toggle tab on our sticky header, which will stay in the, as the user scrolls and views the page, stays out of view, giving it more viewable area. And then we'll reset whenever you get to the top. So that's it. All right. Well, that's all I got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Sure do hope that you enjoyed our live stream, and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And also don't forget to subscribe to our blog newsletter, our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. Make sure to click to get those notifications also, so that you can get notified every single time we have a new live stream or something new for you. And we'll be back here next week with another Divi use case live stream on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So look forward to that as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys in our next video.